sense of humor. Today's gospel lesson is about health care. Buckle up as we go into John, the 9th chapter.
Glory to you.
As Jesus walked along, he saw a person who was blind from birth. And his disciples asked him, "Rabbi, whose fault is this? Who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" And Jesus answered them, "Neither this man nor his parents sinned. If you want to, he was born blind so that God's works might be revealed in him. We must do the works of him who sent me while it is day, and night is coming when no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world." When he had said this, he spat on the ground and made mud with the saliva and spread the mud on the man's eyes, saying to him, "Go now and wash in the pool of Siloam," which means sent. Then he went and washed and came back able to see. The neighbors and those who had seen him before as a beggar began to ask, "Is this not the man who used to sit and beg?" Some were saying, "It is he." Others were saying, No, it is someone who just looks like him." But he kept saying, "I am the man." They kept asking him, "Then how were your eyes opened?" And he answered, "The man called Jesus made mud, spread it on my eyes, and said to me, 'Go to Siloam and wash.' Then I went and washed and received my sight." And they said to him, "Where is this man?" And he said, "I don't know." They brought to the Pharisees the man who had formerly been blind. Now it was the Sabbath day, when Jesus made the mud and opened his eyes. Then the Pharisees also began to ask him how he had received his sight. And he said to them, "He put mud on my eyes, and I washed, and now I see." Some of the Pharisees said, "This man is not from God, for he does not observe the Sabbath." But others said, "How can a man who is a sinner perform such good signs?" And they were divided. So they went again to the blind man. "What do you say about him?" "It was your eyes who were opened." And he said, "He's a prophet." The Jews did not believe that he had been blind and that he had received his sight until they called the parents of the man who had received his sight, and they asked them, "Is this your son who you say was born blind? How then now does he see?" His parents answered, "We know that this is our son. We know that he was born blind, but we do not know how it is that now he sees, nor do we know who opened his eyes. Ask him. He is of age. He can speak for himself." The parents said this because they were afraid of the Jews, for the Jews had already agreed that anyone who confessed Jesus to be the Messiah would be put out of the synagogue. Therefore his parents said, "He is of age. Ask him." For a second time they called the man who had been blind, and they said to him, "Give glory to God. We know that this man is a sinner." And the man answered, "I do not know whether he is a sinner, but one thing I do know. I was blind, now I see." They said to him, "What did he do to you? And how did he open your eyes?" And he answered them, "I have told you already, but you wouldn't listen to me. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you want to be one of his disciples?" Wrong thing to say, and they reviled him, saying, "You are his disciple. We are the disciples of Moses. We know that God has spoken to Moses, but as for this man, we do not know where he comes from." And the man answered, "Here is an astonishing thing. You do not know where he comes from, and yet he opened my eyes. We know that God does not listen to sinners, but he does listen to the one who worships him and obeys his will. Never since the beginning of the world has anything been heard that anyone opened the eyes of a person born blind. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing." They answered him, "You were born entirely in sin, and you are trying to teach us?" And they drove him out. Jesus heard that they had driven him out, and when he found him, he said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" And the man answered, "Who is he, sir? Tell me, that I may believe in him." Jesus said to him, "You have seen him, And the one who is speaking with you is he. He said, Lord, I believe. And he worshiped him. Jesus said, I came into this world for judgment, so that those who do not see may see, and those who do not see, those who do see may become blind. Now, some of the Pharisees overheard this and said to him, surely we are not blind, are we? Jesus said to them, if you were blind, you would not have sinned. But now you say, we see. So your sin remains. The gospel of our Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. It would be really easy to use this as a launch pad to talk about Washington, D.C. and health care and all of that stuff. But really, if you think about it, what good would it do? What good would it do you? It might make you feel good on one side or the other, but what good would it do you? Because the whole issue that's going on within this story that we have is not even necessarily the healing, but it's the reaction to the healing. Jesus comes to this man and really doesn't even ask him if he wants to be healed. In other situations, Jesus will ask, do you want to be healed? And considering the grief that this man goes through afterward, he might have said, you know, Jesus, I'll just take a pass. It's easier to be blind than to stir up this hornet's nest that happens as a result of my healing. But why is it? What is the result? What's the dynamic that's going on? It's, first of all, the neighbors. The neighbors who are all coming and saying, hey, wait a second. Have you been faking this the whole time? Have you just been pretending? Is it really you? Or is it someone that looks like you? What's going on here? Because something has happened that is really changing the way it's upsetting us and disturbing us. This is not the way that the world is supposed to work. And then the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the religious leaders get involved, and they make it an even muddier position. Because their whole idea is that somebody had to have sinned, right? That's this whole cause and effect way of looking at religion. That if you do something bad, then something bad is going to happen to you. In other religions, it's called karma. Right? If you do good, good will come to you. And if you do bad, bad will come to you. And to some degree, I mean, if Gary sticks a stick into a hornet's nest while he's here working on church stuff, there might be consequences. Right? But if you kind of extrapolate that out into this whole big religious way of looking at things, then the problem that you run into is what they ran into. Because if this man was blind, then it had to be somebody's fault. Was it his parents? Was it him? Was it his grandparents? How far back can we go? And first of all, Jesus just kind of goes, oh, for heaven's sakes, let that go. But that's not good enough, because they're still upset. They're still angry. Their world has been upset. And that's what we really need to look at, I think, in this gospel lesson. Because the blindness that we need to look at is not someone else's. It's ours. The healing that we need to look for is not someone else's, but it's ours. how easy it is to just sit in this kind of cocoon of holiness and righteousness and say, it's all your fault. You're the ones that are all screwed up. You're the ones that are all messed up. You're the ones that are... Me? Oh, no. Not me. And Jesus is basically saying, folks, you are all blind in one way or another until you can actually say, I'm blind. And then when you say I'm blind, all of a sudden your perspective can start to shift and change. These people who thought they had 20/20 visions, too bad Jude Maloney's not with us. Talk to us about. But these people who thought that they could see perfectly, Jesus is saying, you are blind as bats. Until, you guys know, and I was up front with the council about my connections with Russia. Before I ever came here, you may regret that. But I've been there 9 times. I can tell you what the conversations, I'd be very happy to share the conversations. I can remember most of them. But one of the things that's really nice about that is that it really does, and for those of you who went a few years ago, it really does make you think very differently. First of all, I remember Libby walking down the street with me, Nevsky Prospect, and in St. Petersburg, and I said, well, Libby, what are your impressions? And she said, well, it's not nearly as scary as I thought it would be. Wow. But, coming back to the point, I have friends in Moscow, the Archbishop of the Lutheran Church, who looks like he's 14 years old. In fact, it was so awful because we wouldn't even we went to a bar in Everett. I mean, the man is 30, but he looks 12. And so we went to a bar and he had all of the Archbishop's stuff on, but they wouldn't give him a beer. And they said, do you have ID? Duh. Yes. Not duh. And he held out the ID and the lady said, I can't read this. Because his ID was in hello, Russian. Right? So we couldn't give him a beer. I bought 2 beers and I tried to give him 1 and the waitress got really upset. Like, you can't do that. You're supplying beer to... I was like, come on. So I called Dietrich. And there's a German-Russian name for you, but I called Dietrich about, I didn't call him, but I was emailing him. This is also, I was emailing when I showed you the emails. But I was emailing him, and I just emailed, and I was trying to be careful too, because we're coming in from different perspectives. And I said, Dietrich, just emailing you to reach out, to say hi, and ask how things are going. And he immediately, I don't know what he was doing awake at 3 in the morning, but he emailed me back. And it's good to hear from you, Brother Wes. You know, things are going fine. We talked back and forth a little bit, but we finally did come to the point of this stuff that's going on. And Dietrich said something incredibly wise for someone who looks 12. He said, Brother Wes, we're listening to propaganda, and we know it. You're listening to propaganda, and you know it, and we know it, and you know it. He said, as long as we both recognize that we're listening to propaganda, there's wisdom in being able to know that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle of all of this. And what my first reaction was really interesting, because it was, no, ours is not propaganda. We have the truth. No. You see, if you keep saying to yourself, I know the truth, I'm sorry, you're going to stay blind. What Jesus is saying is that you've got to get outside of yourself. You've got to get beyond yourself And you've got to step back and recognize that you are probably not seeing the whole picture. You need to take a deep breath and recognize that you are not God. And that for one reason or another, you may be blind. And in saying that, wisdom begins to creep in. Because then it's not so much about defending your side or the other, but it's really trying to see, to hear, to understand. God is not so much about sides. God is very much about trying to understand and connect, to be a person of compassion, Christian of compassion, which means that you're willing to set aside your own perspectives and try to get into the brain, the hearts, the emotions, the sandals of the people that you're around. Because that is where God's healing is going to step in. Not easy. It is not easy. Our prejudices just always are creeping forward and wanting to take over.